This is lecture number 13, and we will start the new chapter, that is reproduction. And today we will discuss the reproduction in animals. What is reproduction? The simplest definition of reproduction could be the process in which one or two parent organisms form a new individual is called reproduction, right? Why we said one or two parent? You will understand it when we will discuss the types of reproduction, right? So what is the simplest definition? When one or two parent organisms form a new individual, it is called as reproduction. Reproduction itself is not essential for life of a parent organism, right? It is not that if they will not reproduce, they cannot live. It's not like that. But reproductive, if the reproductive functions in all the members of a species stop, what will happen? The whole species will be vanished, right? Because if the reproduction stops, the new species will not form. That species will be vanished from the earth. Modes of reproduction. There are two modes of reproduction: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. First, we will discuss asexual reproduction in detail. It is the most primitive method of reproduction in which a new organism is formed from just one parent, right? Which means the other parent or mate or the male gamete is not involved, not taking participate in this in the process of reproduction. And as there are no fusion of two gametes, so it means fertilization will also not happen. The offsprings from asexual reproduction are exact copies of each of their parents, and they are identical to their parents. Now, types of asexual reproduction: fission, budding, regeneration, and parthenogenesis. We will discuss all of these types one by one with examples. Fission. In fission, the parent body divides into two or more parts, and each of that part will develop into a new individual. It can be of two types: binary and multiple fission. In binary fission, the parent body, if the parent body divides into two daughter organisms, then it is binary fission. Remember, bi means two. So in binary fission, the parent body will be divided into two daughter organisms. As the name shows, the multiple fission, it means the parent body will be divided into more than two or in multiple daughter organisms, right? The binary fission, in which the parent body is divided into two daughter organisms. In multiple fission, the parent body will divide it into more than two daughter organisms. The example: mostly a fission is observed in protozoans like amoeba, plasmodium, paramecium. In this diagram, you can see this is the binary reproduction occurring in euglena, the paramecium. Here you can see it is divided into two, and this is amoeba. Budding. In this type of reproduction, what happens? A small bud or outgrowth is outgrowth develops on the part of the parent body, and this bud, after the development, when it increases its size, it detaches from the parent body and becomes a new individual, right? And the more common, it is more common in colonial species, right? Okay, the example of the type of budding, it is commonly seen in colonial species, which means the species which lives as in the form of colonies, right? So like sponges, like hydra, the coral, the coelentrates, cnidarians. Then regeneration. The regrowing of the missing parts, which can be lost by an accident, or it is cut in laboratory. The researchers cut the animal in laboratory for their observations, for their research, right? And after cutting, or the missing part will regrow. Regeneration is seen in mostly in the worms and in echinoderm. Here you can see this is the starfish. Remember, the starfish is pentamerous, which means it have 5 arms. When one of the arm is lost, it can regenerate its arm. So it is the production of a organ or part of the body. That's why we included it in reproduction. Parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis is neither strictly asexual nor sexual. Why? Because gametes are produced as in the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction involves the production of gametes, male and female gametes, right? But it requires only one parent, which is always a female. So this is the this point will include in asexual reproduction, right? In asexual reproduction, two parents are not required. So it has both the features of asexual and sexual reproduction. The female produces eggs that develop into adults without fertilization, as it does not involve the gamete production, or the two parents involvement is not there. So the female produces egg, and that the eggs develops into the adult or individual without undergoing the process of fertilization. The example, it is commonly seen in insects like honeybees, ants, and wasps. Cloning. This is another type of reproduction. What is cloning? You have studied in your previous class, but it is a process in which the formation of a new individual by using one unfertilized egg, whose nucleus is replaced by the diploid nucleus of a somatic cell. We can understand it like this. The process by which a new individual is formed by using an unfertilized egg, right? Unfertilized egg is taken, and there its nucleus is removed and replaced by another nucleus or diploid nucleus from a somatic cell. Remember, there are two types of cells in our body, in all the other animals or organisms body, that are germ cells and somatic cells. The germ cells are the cells which are responsible for the reproduction. These are the male and female cells, while the rest of our body is made up of somatic cells. So in this process, the egg with replaced nucleus is lodged into the uterus of a female, where it develops into an organism. Now, this was a quick review to the process of cloning that you have studied in detail in your previous class. So what were the advantages of the cloning? By the help of cloning, we can generate replica of the vital organs for transplantation. Like if any patient with a malfunction organ, we can replace it or transplant it with a healthy vital organ by the help of cloning. Then better crops can be produced by the help of cloning, by choosing the right or better crop and cultivate it, right? Then selected livestock can be done by the help of cloning. The healthy individuals are selected by the help of this process, and they get cloned, and the livestock will be a healthier or selected livestock. Disadvantages of the cloning. Obviously, the identity of the clone, if we talk about the human cloning, the identity is the most important hurdle in the cloning of humans, because the clone will not have any paternal or maternal identity. and it is against the Islamic society. And according to our beliefs, it is unethical. And most importantly, the fear of making clones of criminals. Okay, this is the sheep which was cloned, the first ever clone of mammal, the Dolly, if you remember the name, Dolly the sheep. This is the remains of Dolly after her death. It is preserved, stuffed, and now it is present in the National Museum of Scotland. People can visit and see her there. Okay, what are identical and fraternal twins? First, we should know what are twins. Twins are two children which develop and bond together. They develop within the mother together, and they are born together, right? Then there are two types of twins, identical twins and fraternal twins. What is the difference between these two types of twins? The identical twins are exactly alike. They have same sex. Either they will be boys or girls. Both of the twins will be boys or both of the twins will be girls. Then they are monozygotic. What does it mean? Mono means one. Remember, mono means one, and zygotic came from the word zygote, because the identical twins are developed from just one zygote. That's why they have same genes. That's why they have same sex, and they look identical in features. Then fraternal twins, they develop from two independent eggs, right? That's why they are called as dizygotic. Di means two. So each egg is fertilized by a separate sperm, the male cell, right? Egg, the female cell, and the sperm is the male cell. Because of the combination of two different eggs and sperms, they have different genotype, and that's why they are not identical. Sexual reproduction. When a male gamete, which is commonly called as a sperm, fuses with female gamete, ovum, to form a zygote, which after development forms a new individual, is called as sexual reproduction. Right? Formation of a new individual by the help of fusion of male and female gametes is called as sexual reproduction. What is the significance of sexual reproduction? This is very important. Sexual reproduction basically avoids the genetic monotony. Genetic monotony means all the species with the same genetic makeup, like it's in the asexual reproduction. It is the case with asexual reproduction, in which we cannot find genetic variation because it involves only one parent. So same genetic material is passed on to the other generation. But in sexual reproduction, it involves male and female egg and sperm. That's why it contains the genetic material from both the parents, which provides us the variety in different organisms and variety of organisms. Sexual reproduction also increases the chances of survival because of the variation in their genes. And it also provides the foundation of evolutionary changes, like the degradation or the mutation occur in the animals, like few organs are not present right now, but they were present in the previous species, right? So these evolutionary changes are due to the presence of sexual reproduction. It also helps in identification of different variety of individuals. Okay, this is it. Today we will discuss only these few topics. We have to discuss the sexual reproduction in detail, that we will cover in the next lecture.